with some ties that were cut. Protesters shoved that gate open, and as soon as that happened, then the first flashbang flew of the night. Several more flew, too, as guard members and other law enforcement with shields came out to go forward through the 2 layers of fencing to that outer layer and resecure that gate and move back. And so flashbangs were used to move the crowd back. Mace was being sprayed through the fence as well at some of the protesters. And then as more bottles and some fireworks started flying too, we saw more flashbangs being used. And I've only seen tear gas, at least what I've seen, 1 round of tear gas down in the street, again, right in front of the fence and right by this gate that they had broken open. At that point, the law enforcement and the guard retreated back towards the building. But then came the announcement that this was declared an unlawful assembly and for everyone to disperse. There was also a second announcement of that. And now we get the sense that the National Guard is moving up the street potentially, because we saw a whole lot of people starting to run northbound here on Humboldt Avenue, and we did as well. State Patrol is down the street as well, helicopter overhead, and again, this is now again a couple of announcements of unlawful assembly, and so that's why we have moved back up here about half a block up the street to not get caught up in this, so we can continue moving and evacuating, but paused here long enough to show you what's going on. So again, it got agitated very, very quickly here as they started pushing open that fence, and did push it open. And again, then they started trying to push them back to secure that. And not long after that, as they kept going after that fence, at the gate and the fence, and pushing on the fence, and that's when the unlawful assembly declaration came. So it is going to probably resolve here pretty quickly here. A lot of people have left. It was up over 500 people around 9:30, but now by 10 o'clock down by 100 or 2, and now just in the last 10 minutes shrunk again, probably by half, as people have fled out of here. So that is the situation. Now we see a chopper overhead with the searchlight coming down too, as they've declared an unlawful assembly here, and people are trying to get out of here. But those that are left, it's gotten pretty quiet here pretty quickly. We'll keep you posted if you need to come back to us.
All right, Rob, let me ask you this. You witnessed a couple of the flashbangs go off. You said you saw, and the crowd is starting to move there a little bit more too, so we'll let you get to safety, Rob, if you're in harm's way.
Well, there's some vehicles starting to move, and a lot more people are moving now too, so we are going to move along with them. So it's kind of hard to see what's going on exactly down there, but people are getting out of there in a hurry. So that suggests it's a good time for us to keep moving back as well.
Yeah,
so
it sounds good.
The crowd, the dispersal, they're dispersing. Let's just say that.
All right, we're going to let you get to safety here, and we have Babs Santos, who's also on the north end of the police department too, and we know he's out in the crowd as well. Yeah,
let's check in with Babs Santos. Hopefully a different angle from where Rob was at. Babs, where exactly are you right now?
Hey Karen, hey Tim. You can see there's a lot of people starting to come this way. We were wondering why. It appears there's a convoy of soldiers on the other side. Not too long ago, they did issue that dispersal order, and they've been using tear gas, using flashbangs. Really feel for these people living in this apartment over here to the left, if you could pan to the left. People here are affected by this tear gas. There's been so many odd sights here. Umbrellas out, goggles on. People in the crowd we've seen armed with guns. We're going to move because the convoy is coming in our direction, so we're moving back that way. I don't know if you can hear me now, Karen?
Yeah, we can. Babs, I'll tell you what, we can see people starting to run there, Babs. You get to the safe position that you need to get to, along with our colleague Rob Olson.
We're good. The soldiers are here.
Are they state? I think you're meaning State Patrol. Is it the State Patrol?
They are making arrests. I see shields that say
Sheriff's Department, yes.
They are making arrests here.
Hey, if cameraman's filming, start backing it up. Okay, let's go.
We're going to back up and get to safety.
Babs, did it look like they were making an arrest?
Making multiple arrests. Really, this entire crowd just got out of the area.
All right.
But it looks like on both sides there is law enforcement here. they're running away from those people making arrests there, but they're running right directly towards another crowd. Almost just as many sheriff deputies on this other side, many vehicles.
All right, Rob Olson is also out there in the middle of the crowd tonight. Rob, can you hear us now, and where are you at, and what are you seeing?
I can hear you, and I'm walking northbound on Humboldt now as a massive line of law enforcement has moved in here. SWAT teams all departing their vehicles to head down towards the police station. Vehicles have come in and blocked the road. National Guard vehicles have blocked the road as people were really rapidly trying to get out of here. So you can see from this here, there go the law enforcement members, the SWAT team and others that were held up in reserve to come in here. Here comes some law enforcement now on mountain bikes. It'll be coming past the camera in a minute. I'm behind the camera now by about 20 feet too as we continue to back up here. But here come these, I don't know where they came from. They're coming down an alley, so obviously they were staged very nearby too. But the speed at which these vehicles just all pulled in here, you see the National Guard vehicle and that sort of a small transit van bus in front of you blocking the road. They came out through the alley. There's a long line of these vehicles now completely creating a perimeter across Humboldt and across the parking lot where the Dollar Tree Mall is. And again, another long line of vehicles came from the north down Humboldt. It just sped down in a long line, doors opened, and they all poured out and are all heading that way. So you can see the perimeter that they've created there with the vehicles across Humboldt and everyone going in the other way rapidly to start to continue with what was a dispersal, and now will be presumably quite a number of arrests here to shut this down. So
Rob,
people started running.
I was going to say,
quickly.
that's interesting. They didn't do that the last few nights. They didn't sort of choke off the area with the vehicles like they did, that they clearly are doing there. And I know Babs, with his angle, we saw a couple of arrests. Did you see any people actually being arrested? We see a police line right now.
Yeah. I cannot see anyone being arrested because that's all now on the other side of that line. Maybe you can see a little bit going on over here as they move in with the shields up. But as we headed north to stay in a safe position here, that's when all these vehicles came in. Literally, as I was passing where those vehicles are, they were flying across the road. So that all happened pretty quickly here. So yeah, a marked difference to what we saw certainly, Karen, last night when you were out here, in which they had a very non-aggressive, non-confrontational, non-escalation stance, and things did sort of then kind of peter out, I guess, as the night wore on. I think that's exactly the approach that they appeared to be trying tonight, staying back by the building, not up by the fence line, and just hoping that would turn out the same way. But you could really tell here, you could tell that tension escalating. You could really just feel it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about because you've been out here multiple times, that you could just sort of sense that something was about to happen.
It's
and when they
incredible, the
broke
speed.
that, again, yeah.
The speed at which that happened,
things,
you know, it just everything popped in a second, and the speed at which those vehicles moved in, those law enforcement vehicles,